So it's finally been announced that Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez are going to probably fight in November of this year. Obviously, I think it's a good thing that this particular fight is happening, because it gives a chance for Canelo to unify all of the titles and potentially become the first Mexican to unify a division completely. So in my opinion, this is a incredible fight. Caleb Plant is obviously going to be the underdog for this fight because of how dominant that Canelo's been looking recently. But in terms of I like seeing fighters go for history and try to do things that are kind of unprecedented. So obviously Canelo Alvarez is going for history. He's trying to unify the division, and if he can pull this off and actually beat Caleb Plant, then he might be the first Mexican to actually unify an entire weight class, which is an incredible achievement. So in my opinion, this is a very compelling fight. One thing that I'm wondering, obviously we're not privy to everything that happens behind the scenes, but if this fight actually came about, then the PBC must have bended themselves to Canelo Alvarez's request. Whatever he requested, they must have been like, you know what, let's just give it to him, because obviously we need this fight. It's not secret information, the fact that it is quite well known that the PBC is under a lot of financial stress at the moment. They're trying to pay back their investors. I'm obviously talking about Al Heyman here. So like they probably thought, you know what, instead of us not doing the fight with Canelo Alvarez, we might as well just do it, even if we have to bend ourselves over to like give Canelo everything that he wants. Let's just do the fight, because obviously it's going to help them get out of their potential financial windfall making this fight happen. So I'm just curious what actually happened behind the scene. Maybe they do have Canelo locked down for a certain deal where it might be a short-term contract, like 1 or 2 fights, or maybe 3 fights. Canelo, obviously, he loves having his free agency. He likes being in a position where the networks are coming to him and trying to outbid to get him to fight on their shows, because obviously that maximizes his income. But the fact remains that it's probably the right time for him to if the PBC are offering him a contract, maybe they're offering him like 50 million a fight or something of that sort. That could be the reason why he decided to actually sign to fight Caleb Plant. Obviously there is the history element of it, in terms of unifying an entire division and becoming undisputed. But let's be real, Canelo Alvarez is in a position where he's got loads of options. He could easily go up to light heavyweight and fight a Bivol or fight a Bertabiev or fight one of them fighters. He didn't have to fight Caleb Plant. Obviously it's something that he wants to do because he wants to unify the division, but let's be real, he's got other options on the table that he could potentially take. So the fact that they've come to a deal, it makes me think that maybe Al Heyman thought, you know what, if we can't get him for 2 or 5 fights or 8 fight deal, maybe we could just get him for like a 2 fight deal, or maybe they've worked out something where it's just a short-term contract. But yeah, I'm quite excited for this fight. The fact that it's happening in November is quite a good turnaround time. Obviously Canelo Alvarez is a professional, he trains all the time. Caleb Plant, he heard about the rumors of him fighting Canelo Alvarez. He must be in the gym. So November, I think, is a good date for this particular fight. And I'm actually looking forward to it. Now Caleb Plant, I don't think he's a slicker boxer as Billy Joe Saunders, and he's a boxer puncher. He can box, he can punch, but I don't think he's good at either one at a high level. So he's not as good a puncher as let's say a Golovkin, but he's not as good a slicker boxer as say like a Billy Joe Saunders. So in my opinion, in this particular fight, I just think it's probably going to be obvious who's going to win this fight. I'm going for Canelo. I think Canelo Alvarez is just on a run right now. The only person that I could see actually beating him is like a Bertabiev or possibly a Bivol. But I just don't think Caleb Plant has got it inside him to actually beat him. I could be wrong. Maybe there's an upset coming, but I don't think it's unreasonable to feel like that. To feel like he could get himself in a position where he could actually lose this particular fight. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this fight. I'm glad that it's happening. I do want to see history being made, and seeing an undisputed Mexican champion will be something that I could say that I've saw in my own generation of watching boxing. Because obviously you're making history, right? So like it'll be a good thing for us to see as boxing fans as well. After this, obviously I think it's unprecedented what's going to happen next. It's obvious what's going to happen next. Canelo's going to obviously go up to probably one to the light heavyweight division. He already won a title there against Kovalev. He's probably going to go up there and probably fight the likes of Berta Biev and Bivol. And if he can unify that division as well, then I think it's fair to say that he's cementing his claim as one of the greatest Mexican fighters that's ever lived. I'm not saying he's top 5, but I think right now he may. Obviously, he's still 30. He's still got like probably a decade or half a decade left in the sport. You never know what can happen, but I think it's fair to say that the opportunity will come for him to actually become he's definitely probably a top 10 Mexican fighter of all time. I think he's on top 10, and if he can actually unify a division, then that's going to cement his claim even more. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. I can't wait for it to happen, and hopefully it's a decent fight, and I hope Caleb Plant puts on a show. I hope he doesn't like go in there for just a payday. I hope he actually comes to actually bring it on Canelo and actually try to actually win. I hope he does, because those that have been following Caleb Plant knows about the lot of personal issues that he's been through in his life, and it's good to see a fighter who has a working class attitude towards boxing. He's hard working, he's been grafting for a minute now, to get a huge payday against one of the biggest stars in the sport. So I'm happy for Caleb Plant that he's got this. He's going to make probably minimum 10 million for this fight, which is good money for him. Before that, I don't think he even made $1 million for a fight yet. I think he made 500k, maybe 750k, but I don't think he's even made $1 million. Now he's going to make 10 times that amount against Canelo, which is incredible. So yeah, I'm happy for Caleb Plant. He's got his opportunity to shock the world, to have a Buster Douglas moment, to beat one of the most dominant fighters in recent history, I would say. And he's got an opportunity to prove a lot of people wrong, myself included, because I think Canelo's going to win this fight quite handily, to be honest. I just don't see what Caleb Plant has here that can actually bother Canelo. And it's not just that, it's the politics of it as well. Canelo, for all intents and purposes, is a cash cow. Whether you like him or dislike him, that's something that you can't deny. So the fact is, he's probably going to have the judges in his pocket. Like, the judges are going to give him more rounds than he probably deserves, even if he's losing. I mean, just look at the Amir Khan versus Canelo fight. I think the scorecards were heavily in Canelo's favour, even though the first 6 rounds I actually had Khan ahead at that point, up to the knockout. So yeah, in my opinion, when you're going against Canelo, you're not just going up against Canelo, you're going up against the politics and the machine that want him to dominate and constantly be successful. That includes the judges, that includes all of the demands that he's going to make in a particular fight. For example, like the ring size, all of them aspects of a fight, he dictates and he controls, because he is the cash cow, he's the A side. So yeah, I'm happy this fight's going to be made, and I hope we do more fights like this. Hopefully we see more fights where history's being made. That's my opinion, and I think at this point in time, I think Canelo's going to win. And I feel like it's going to be an interesting show to see for as long as it lasts. So yeah, that's my opinion. Tell me your opinion below, and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.